Hello, and welcome to another ASMcaR video. Today, we are going to be doing the second part of the Lego City F1 collaboration. This is the new Formula One series for ages 4 and up. And as we found out in the last video, this product in front of us is the only one that is 4 and up. So this is the most basic, and when I say basic, I mean the most elementary of the new Formula One builds. The mic is on, and away we go. So today I wanted to do my first soft-spoken / whisper video, just for some variety. I also wanted to test some new mic settings. So if you're new here, welcome. I hate to sound like a broken record, but this is a new channel, and in the hopes of producing the most enjoyable content for all of you, leaving a comment or a like or subscribing to the channel really will provide me with the best feedback. So if you would rather me just do whisper videos, please let me know. If this is something more that you enjoy than the other videos that I've posted, let me know that as well. Also, I'm new to the ASMR community as a creator. I have been obsessed with ASMR. I feel like ASMR is kind of like something that you've always had in your brain, something that always gives you the tingles. But not until like 4 or 5 years ago did I find what ASMR really was with the pandemic. And I follow a few ASMR artists on YouTube specifically that I'll link in either the bio or put a card to, a link to their channels. But those are the creators that I kind of want to mirror this channel after, as well as what gives me the tingles. So ASMR is a very wide net, and I think it is all valid. But I started this channel because I'm falling asleep to ASMR every single night, and I also love race cars, and specifically open-wheeled race cars. So the most popular open-wheeled racing today is Formula One and IndyCar. I know there are other forms of open-wheeled racing, but those are the most mainstream. So that's how this channel became what it is. So again, liking, subscribing, commenting really is going to help me gauge what you all enjoy and what you want to see more of. Enough of that. Let's get to the fun stuff. So today we're going to be doing the second part of this series. Like I said, we built the Williams car with our self-designated Carlos Sainz. And today we're going to be building our Haas car with our self-designated Ollie Bearman. If you watched the last video, you know that this is, like I said, the most elementary of all of the new cars that they came out with. But I really enjoy them. They look very, I watched a review actually of this specific line and product, and the person that was reviewing the product said that they were, they looked like go-karts. Like they weren't trying to be exactly like F1. They looked more like miniature go-karts, which I would agree with, and I think is a very smart way to market this. Because when you think of like the progression of a driver, they're not starting out in the F1 car. They're starting out in a go-kart from the age of like 4 or younger, you know? Okay, so we did the first product or car or build, I should say. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a big Lego builder, so the terminology on the bricks or the terminology on certain types of Legos I do not know. I just know F1 Legos because I like them. But we did the first half of this build, and I'll show you right now. This was the first half. So this is what we're going to be making again today, but it's going to be the Haas. Make sure his visor is down. The Haas, whereas this is the Williams. Okay. As you may know from the last video, one of my triggers is cellophane. It really gives me the tingles. Even right now, I really enjoy the crinkles of the cellophane. So in the package you get 2 of these packets. This is obviously number 2. You get 2 of the booklets. This is obviously number 2. And then you get two of I want to call them the chassis, but they're really the floor plate, the base of the build. Which, as I said in the last video, like, this is all connected with the axles and it's very simplified so that you don't have to spend 10 to 15 steps building the floor of the car, like in most Lego builds that are F1 related. Okay, let's get into this. I could literally spend all day playing with that. If you've watched the last videos, you know that I'm very OCD and I really enjoy color coding. So what we're going to do first, before we color code, is we are going to separate all of the tires and the frames and I guess they're the hubcaps of the tires. Because if you've built any type of car that's a Lego series, I mean, probably any model for that matter, you know that the wheels are pretty much the last step. So let's put all of the white pieces. So this head like rolled out of the bag when I opened it, if you want to go back and watch. And my first instinct was to start singing Heads Will Roll. Wow, I'm old. That was such a dad joke. Okay, all of the red is gonna go over here. When did I get so old? I'm just trying to be a functioning member of society. Oh, Lord. Okay. We're going to put the black pieces over here. I'm going to put the gray piece right there, and the whites are already right there. As you can see, this is a very elementary type build, as I said before, and I already know how half of this is going to go because we did this. So it's going to be the same exact build, it's just a different print and a different driver. And I already want to build everything like the driver, but we'll do this step by step because that's why y'all are here. And see, look, I'm already ahead of the instructions. Now, granted, this is going to be the most, I don't know if they have any younger versions, but this is the most elementary version of the F1, the new F1 series that they came out with. So the first step is removing all of the contents from the bag and getting the floor ready. Something that I realized when I was watching and editing the last video, let's get you out of the way, was that this booklet doesn't have steps in it. Like there's no number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 onwards. I think that's really, it speaks to how Lego wants to show, okay, here's a hand, here's a hand. Let's put the feet, the body, the head, head, the helmet, and the visor in one hand, and we'll mirror this. So if kids aren't great at numbers or counting or letters yet, they still can see a visual representation. So if you've been following the channel, you know that I always put these on backwards. It doesn't look like a butt. Like, that looks like a butt. That looks like a rear end, but that is the front. I was about to say unfortunately, but I guess that depends on who you ask. So we're going to put this body on top of, this might be the first time that I've put these on correctly the first time. Let's take a moment for that. His little jumpsuit is so cute. I don't know which one I like more, the Williams or the Haas. In real life, the Williams for sure. I'm not a big fan of the Haas's livery. I have a podcast called F Wonderland. If you want to follow that, me and my friends, we just kind of discuss things that are happening this season, and we did a episode on the F-175 livery launch, and I said red, white, and black on a Haas. Groundbreaking. Because if you know Haas, they're the American team, and they really came out guns a-blazing with that theme. Okay, so we're going to put the head on. This, I said this in the last video, look at this. That is a winged liner, girl. Girl, that is a woman. I shouldn't say it's just a woman, but it's definitely, look at those eyelashes. I mean, maybe they're being inclusive. It looks like this person, it looks like they have lip like gloss, or I don't know if you can see that close enough. Yeah, look at that. That is definitely not a cis. Maybe it is a cisgender male. That I shouldn't make judgments. That is a choice, which I'm 1000% here for. I don't want to misgender this driver as a man or a female or trans or anything. But it's just interesting because I was telling y'all about like the Lando Oscar kind of like vibe, and like how the head that came with the McLaren had like facial hair on it, and it's just funny that because like Lando and Oscar are both very much boys and they don't have facial hair, so it's just another moment to say, okay, these are not actual drivers that they're trying to replicate in these, even though I want to say that this is Ollie Bearman, but I don't know if he would appreciate me saying that. Okay, let's move on. So like I said, one of the best things is the helmets. Like, look at the logo that is printed on this tiny helmet. That's really cool. So, we'll put the visor on. Nice little click. And it goes up and down. And then we'll put this on the head of the driver. That is definitely a presenting female, which I love that Lego did that. Again, I don't want to misgender, but I love the makeup. Regardless of the gender of this driver, their faces beat girl. I'm here for it. Okay. Olivia Bearman, we're going to put you over here. Okay, we just did that. I'm not trying to offend anyone. If I'm offending you, I'm really trying to be very cognizant on my terminology, but as a gay man myself, I can always learn. Okay. Mirroring the booklet, we have the floor, and then we're going to put this gray piece on facing back, just like so. And then we're going to take one of these 4 peg places and place it right on top. And then 2 of the red 4 pieces on either side. I already like this design a lot. It makes me want to get a Ferrari version of this, but they don't make one in this like 4+ size. They make one in the same McLaren build that we did a couple days ago. But the red is really making me excited for the Ferrari. I have the Speed Champions Ferrari that we can build together. I believe that we'll do that next. Okay, so we're going to put the wheel on, which I really enjoy. It's a fully functioning wheel, which I don't even think the Speed Champions has a fully functioning wheel. I think it's just like it's a piece that is printed, and I guess that's more representational of the actual F1 wheel, because this is not an F1 wheel. That's a consumer car wheel. So take one of these. These are called cheese wedges, I've learned, and put it on the back. Okay, so 2 of the 1 block cheese wedge black units on either side. We're going to build this one faster, I think, because we know what's going on. And then 2 of the white ones. I really think color coding helps with any build, regardless of the difficulty level, just because it just organizes all of your pieces, and then you don't have to sort through a billion pieces. See, we already see the car building, which is great. I don't know, this is 4 and up. I don't know if I would let a 4-year-old build this by themselves, just because there are small pieces like this. Like, that's very small, and I don't know what a 4-year-old's trachea size is, but if it's a choking hazard or not, I mean, I don't plan on having a 4-year-old ever in my life. I don't plan on having any offspring of any age in my life, but this does look a little small for a 4-year-old to be playing with alone. If I'm, I don't know. Maybe that's not my place to say, but again, I would, if you're a parent watching this, I would advise you to make your best decision if your child, whatever age they are, Anyway, okay, let's move on. I'm not going to try to get into that. A 2-peg, I don't know what this is called, just a slat. Where does this go? Right here on the end. And then this 1, 2, 3, 4. What is that? That's a trapezoid, right? A quadrilateral. Well, this is not a quadrilateral because both sides are not parallel. Is it a parallelogram? Y'all, it's almost 10:15 at night right now, and I went to school for musical theater, not for geometry. I almost said geography. Oh Lord, it gets late. Okay. Next we have this like hook piece. I don't know what it is. The other one was, I believe, gray. Yeah, the other one was gray. And because this is red, I don't know. It just really, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy this color palette of the car, which is so funny because in real life I don't enjoy the Haas as much. It's like my least favorite livery out there, but maybe it's just because I'm so used to building papaya cars. Anyway, okay, the next piece is this like stair step looking piece. It has 2 open circles and then 4 pegs. And that's going to go right on top, which is the intake, building the intake. I guess that's really where the engine would be. This is the intake. Oh, I just read about this too. Let me see if I can pull it up. I want to pull this up for you all because I read about it because I wanted to make sure I was referring to the terminology correctly. And so I'm referencing Will Buxton's Grand Prix Illustrated History of Formula One book as it loads. I got this book for Christmas, I believe, or my birthday, I can't remember, from my best friend. Still loading. Okay. Let's look up. I also have a dog. So if you hear her, that is her growling. I think it's called the O-ring. It's not pulling up for me. Of course, when I try to pull it up. What if I just grab my phone? Let's see. The only reason I bring this up is because I don't want to say something, you know. It's not pulling up. Okay. Anyway, the point of this intake, the height of this intake, is so that I think it's called the something ring. If the car flips, there's enough room from that and the halo to protect the driver's head, going back to geometry, right? So we're going to put these two funnel looking pieces on top. And once we put we don't have a halo on this, so I'm sorry. But in a real F1 car, there's a halo, which is like a wishbone looking. This is the rear wing, so it's not perfect, but it basically creates like this like shield over the driver's head, so that if the car rolls, it hits this top part, and then if it hits, another part lower, the driver is still underneath that, and it protects them. So I'm sorry I just spent 5 minutes trying to give you the most accurate information, but essentially in layman's terms that's what that is. So we're going to put this little intake. It's either the intake or it's the headrest. I don't know. And then the Haas rear wing. Again, look at the detail on this. This is really cool. This is printed, which I wish that all of the F1 from the most elementary to the most complex, I wish all of the pieces were printed. Because the stickers are just so, they're not color matched, and they're just not, they don't look as good. So we're going to put this one on the end with this clamp. And then, as I said before, we have DRS enabled control with our finger. Alrighty. Empty-handed. This is just showing the functionality of the DRS-like rear wing. Alright, we need a double-pegged slat-looking thing that goes on the side, and this is the part that will build out one complete side, and then we'll go to the other, or we'll make our way around, whereas I want to do one-on-one, but that is not what the instructions tell us to do. So then we need one of these white pieces, and then one of these red dot pieces that I said was a choking hazard. And we'll put that on the right side, like so. And then one of the most obnoxious pieces in the entire Lego universe. These little like pizza sliced. It's like a fourth of a pizza. But this one's not that bad because if you see the way the design is, it goes with the aerodynamic features of a car. So see how, this is a 4-and-up kit, but see how this piece is so flush with the design of the side pod. And then you have this little red accent that also is above an extension but also aerodynamic. It's really, I think it's very thought out. This is one of the most basic builds, but I think the most intentional builds that Lego has done with an F1 series. Okay. Now, then see that, we're going to build our way all the way around. So we're going to build the front wing now. And we need 2 of these pieces and the actual nose of the car. So we'll put this on. This goes on the front. And as you can see, the Haas logo is also printed. It looks so good. This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite builds. Even amongst the Speed Champion ones. And then we're going to put these singular cheese wedge looking blocks on the front, which also replicates like aerodynamics. You're going to put the diagonal this way because it mirrors the shape of the airflow. You're not going to put it this way because in real life, if there was something like that, that would create drag. The air would hit this and it would create drag. So you want this to be facing the way that the intake is going to go across the car. See, and now we have this step that shows us that we've completed the step. And then we put this on the front of the car, which, as you all know, I like doing the front wing last. Like, I feel like that's the end of the car, whereas the tires in reality are. But see how the curve is? Like, that is some really refined work from Lego in trying to emulate a aerodynamic vehicle. Okay, so now we got this black piece that we're going to put on top. And then one of these little it's like a singular open peg semicircle that is going to go right on top. I just noticed we have like a little driver walking across. And then this little symbol that you see in most Lego builds needs to flip it around so it mirrors the image. And we're going to take this last black piece right here and we're going to put it on the front of this red. This is the part where I would have liked to do this simultaneously, one for one, but I don't make the big bucks when it comes to building Legos. Honestly, I don't make the big bucks regardless, so what do I know? Okay, so we need one of these white pieces and the red pieces, just mirroring what we did, on the right side to the left. And then this little pizza wedge looking thing, and making sure that it's in line with this flush curve of the side pod. This car looks so good, y'all. I'm very happy with this build. Okay, last but not least, we have the tires. So, as you know, with every Lego set, we have multiple few pieces that we don't use. And now we're going to build the tires. So we need all 4 of these hubcaps, or wheel wells, or not wheel wells. These are like the wheel, the actual wheel, and the hubcap in one, and then the tires. And so we're going to put these one on one. And then we're going to have our final vehicle. So, let's first do the wheels. And if you can see, this is the back, like the side that's going to go towards the vehicle. And then this is the printed side that is going to go on the exterior. So what you will see. So these wheels don't matter really which way you put them in, but you just want to make sure that they're all facing the same way when you put them on the car. Let's see. Oh, that's so nice. They all make different noises with the clicks, which is funny. See, that one didn't make a noise really at all. It just made a small muted. And then that one was really loud. Okay, so now we're going to put these on the side of the vehicle, lining it up with the spoke. And since these cars in real life are rear wheel drive, we'll put the rear wheels on first. And then the front one. And then last but not least. And there we go. I'm just going to press these down a little bit, just make sure that all of the pieces are fully intact. That is a good looking little car. And as you can see from the booklet, we have our final product with our Olivia Bearman driver. And this is one of two, or two of two I should say, as we have the other one right here. So we'll put Ollie Bearman in the car, make sure that the arms are up, because I find it easier to set them down because they have these little like holes on their rear ends to plant them. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we have a Haas and a Williams vehicle that represent what we see in the book here. And then just like all of the Lego books, you can see all of the pieces used. So if you wanted to recreate this or do it with a different color scheme, or build a replica, you can do that by looking up these pieces. So, yeah, we have the two city Legos. They look really good. They look so good. I'm so happy with these. Like, the logos on them are just really great. And I think the reviewer that I saw saying they look like go-karts really is something to be, like, pondered over, because like I said before, like when you start in F1 as a career, you don't start with the F1 car, you start with a go-kart. So this just like is really kind of full circle, which I think is really cool. I had a few things pulled up for Ollie Bearman before I even saw the face of this driver, that I'll still also read to you, regardless if we think that this is going to be actually Ollie or not. He's the youngest British F1 driver, born on May 8th, 2005, which I'm about to throw this on the desk, because 2005, yeah. He became the youngest British driver to compete in Formula One when he debuted at the 2024 Saudi Arabia Grand Prix at just 18 years old. His race journey began at the age of 5, and by 8, he was competing in club-level British karting. And he quickly became a name in the industry by finishing 4th in the British National Cadet Championship within a couple years. He also was Ferrari's youngest stand-in in 2024 when he stepped in for Carlos Sainz Jr. at Ferrari during the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, becoming the youngest driver to compete for the team. Impressively, he finished 7th, earning points for his debut. So, if you remember, I was showing you the box, having a Williams driver and a Haas driver high-five each other, and how I said that probably wouldn't happen in real life. Well, it probably did happen in real life, but they were not wearing these two uniforms. Carlos was wearing a Ferrari kit, and Ollie was wearing a Ferrari kit too if he was a stand-in. But it's just interesting that now he drives for Haas and now Carlos drives for Williams. If you watch the Australian Grand Prix, you would know that both of these drivers didn't have the best weekends. Carlos didn't finish the race, and Ollie had to start from the pits, ending in the very last place of the race. But I think these are two of the greatest drivers that we have on the grid. It'll just come down to see if their teams and their cars can get them to a place where they are on podiums. I think both of them will score a lot of points for their respective teams comparatively to the past few years, but we'll see if these drivers can manage the cars and the pressure of what F1 brings. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please like or comment or subscribe. It'll really help me in cultivating a community for you all that brings content that you enjoy as much as I enjoy making. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.